Hello, everybody. All right. Just going to make sure we're good before we get started. All right. All right. Welcome, everybody. All right. So I've never in my life had this many people sign up for something before. So I had to actually install Zoom webinars. Okay. And so because I'm doing that, I'm just checking with my team to make sure that they can see me and everything is good to go. Because normally I'm used to seeing all your little like faces and everything. But unfortunately, webinars, it does not do that. So that being said, I got the good okay. You guys can see me. So we're going to get started. I am super excited to have you guys all here. I just want to make sure I am recording. Okay, great. So tonight we are going to be going over the 5 reasons your mobile bar isn't growing. Okay. So without further ado, I did create like a little slideshow for you guys, which I'm super excited about. Honestly, it's more to keep me on topic than anything else. I didn't put a ton of information on there, but I just wanted to be able to have some notes to refer to. Okay. So here we go. I'm going to share my screen and we are going to go over all of these reasons. If you're new here, by the way, welcome. And if you've seen me before, welcome back. All right, here we go. All right. All right, so welcome. Here are the 5 reasons your mobile bar isn't growing. Before we get into all of that, I am going to explain just who I am in case you are new here. So hi, I am Shelby. I am from a very small town in New Hampshire, and I actually, funny enough, have a bachelor's degree in education. Some of you may not know that, so really funny story. I was at my final year in college, and I got to the final year, and I had changed my major 5 times. Unlike a lot of people, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. Like, genuinely, had no idea, kept changing my mind every damn second. And so I changed my major 5 times and it became my senior year in college. And I looked at my counselor and I was like, what can I get with all the credits that I have? Because clearly I'm not getting any of these degrees I wanted. I had tried biology, philosophy, I had tried psychology, like you name it. I had tried all of these things, right? And so what ended up happening is she was like, you can get a degree in education. Like, you're like only a few credits shy. So you're just going to have to stay 1 semester. So, guys, I have a degree in education. And I started teaching right out of college because that's what my degree allowed me to do. Right. So I started teaching at a middle school. I was actually in the behavior management program, which was not my favorite thing. It was really rough. If you guys, you've been a teenager, you know what it's like to be in middle school and then add the behavior management on top of that. So it was a lot. And I was like, this is not for me. Like, the pay was really bad. The benefits didn't outweigh like how much emotional baggage I was honestly coming home with. And so I was like, never mind. Like, this is not for me. Like, washing my hands of that. And so I actually was really, really lucky. Okay. And I think sometimes life just like lines things up for you. So I actually knew someone at a local nonprofit. She was like the manager, and her and my dad were really good friends. And so she was like, oh, like just have Shelby like come apply for this job and she can be like, part of our nonprofit. And they did want like some college. So when I started, I was like, yeah, like I have a degree in education, which went well with the fact that it was a children's literacy foundation, but I didn't do really anything to do with children's literacy. I actually became their sales director. And as their sales director, I was able to bring in a lot of money for the programs. And funny enough, I started bartending events at that exact facility because our executive director at the time was like, oh, I'm building this big amphitheater. We're going to use all the proceeds and we're going to basically be able to do weddings, concerts, corporate things, like whatever. And we were like, okay, like none of us had bartended or like really planned events. Like none of us really had that experience. So it was kind of crazy. And I got thrown into bartending events. Okay. And I mean, thrown into it, had no experience at all. Like I was using, I like to call it like that lighter, like fuel margarita mix and like just like going like this and being like, yeah, here's your drink. Like none of us really knew what we were doing. Right. So it was like really funny. But fun. Like I was having a freaking blast. Okay. Like I was making a ton of money. I was having fun. And I was like, hey, like this is cool. Like, why am I leaving with more money in one night than I was literally making all freaking week at the desk portion of the job. Like it made no sense to me. I was leaving like $600-700 a night. So I had this really, really pivotal moment in my life, and I still remember it's like eerie to me. Okay. So I was driving around with Erin, who actually works for my company now. She bartends and she does my social media for Royal Bee Bartending. And I was driving around with her. We were picking up ice and liquor and everything for the events. And I looked at her and I was like, do you think people just do this? Like they just like travel around and like go and bartend events? And she was like, I don't know, like maybe look into it. And I was like, yeah, maybe I will, like whatever. That passing moment, okay, like just a fleeting thought changed my entire freaking life, like my entire life. And so what started as like this, like, oh yeah, maybe that's cool. I was like full-fledged, like research mode, like I'm figuring this out. Like, do people actually do this? And so I remember looking at my husband one night and I was like, dude, not only do they do this, they're charging like $1,600 just to show up. Like they're not even bringing anything, like no coolers, no ice, nothing. And there was this large mobile bartender in my area and he was doing 9 weddings every single Saturday because he just felt like 10 was like too many. So he was like tapped at 9. And he kind of took me under his wing and was like, girl, like I'll help you. Like there's so many events. Like I don't need to like, be shy. I don't need to like keep them all to myself. Like there's so much to go around. Like, come on, like I'll help you get started and everything. And he's been so nice. We still talk to this day. He actually just was talking to the girl that really runs the mobile bar company for me now, Katie, and was like, hey, like we have an event, like we don't have enough bartenders. Do you guys want it? Like, so he's just been really, really helpful. And I think that's why for me, I wanted to be helpful too. So I went on to book 100K in events in the first 12 months of my company. And now I own a mobile bartending franchise that has brought in over 500K in events to date. I started this in 2022. And this is with 20 bartenders now on my staff. Okay. So I'm not going to events every single day of the week. I'm nothing like that. I've really been able to grow my business in a way that doesn't rely on me constantly doing everything. Okay. And that's kind of the reason I'm here teaching you this right now, right? So I've coached thousands of students how to start and grow their businesses now in the event space. I've taught caterers, event planners, I've taught venues. I just had a huge venue actually in North Carolina. Like we were working together, and primarily mobile bartenders because that's where my passion started. Okay. All right. So without further ado, now that you know who I am, here are the 5 reasons your mobile bar isn't growing. Feel free to grab a notebook, get ready. We're going to dive into these pretty strong. One thing I did when creating this whole thing for you guys tonight is I actually also am going to give you a real world life example of someone I have worked with that has been struggling with that specific thing to kind of see if you resonate with that person. I kind of want to see basically like sometimes it's easier to be like, oh my God, that sounds just like me. So I've given you real world life examples of people that have come to me being like, this is what's wrong in my business, right? So we are going to go over all of the 5 reasons. And then I'm also going to show you examples of like where this may come up. And then I'm just going to give you a frick ton of knowledge about things I have learned in my own company, whether it's been books I've read or people I've listened to or whatever, about why I've been able to grow my business. Okay. So reason 1, you are doing too much. And I know that sounds kind of counterintuitive because it's like, well, if I'm doing too much, then why isn't my business where I want it to be? Sometimes that's why. Okay. So you are offering way too many services. You're trying to be the caterer. You're trying to be the event planner. You're like, oh, I could also decorate their whole event for them. Sure, I could do event staff. Oh, I can bartend. I can do it all. Like I can just do everything. And when we do that, you guys, unfortunately, like we think that's going to be like really appealing. We're like, oh my God, we're going to appeal to so many people. And like, there's going to be like, we're going to get so many events booked because we're doing all these things. To be honest, it does the opposite because it also really staggers your energy. So you're either offering too many things or also offering too many packages, right? So you're like, oh, I have the gold package and the bronze package, and I have this because this has been something somebody else has wanted. And you're honestly creating objections in your clients before you even talk to them when you're offering too much and when you are offering too many packages. Okay. So here's why we should sell only one thing. I'm going to use examples because I think it's really powerful when you see this in like a business that you're very familiar with. So let's talk about Apple. Okay. I'm on my Apple computer right now. Apple started just producing computers for the first 25 years. They did nothing else. When they tried other things, that was not successful. Okay. So for 25 years, they were just selling computers. That's what they were known for. They sold them to hobbyists, and that was their client, and that was what they sold. And that was it. And they were wildly profitable. Okay. When we try to sell too many things, our energy goes in every different direction. So we can't focus on perfecting the one thing that we're selling, which I know a lot of you now probably have your iPhone. Maybe you're listening to this on your iPhone right now or on your computer that's a Mac or whatever. And do you ever notice something about your iPhone? What do they do every 2 years? They launch a new one. But guess what? It's still an iPhone. It might be a different color. It might have better pixelation in the camera or something like that. But they're focused on selling one product and then over time making it better and better and better and better. And you're giving them more and more and more and more and more money. Even though they're selling you on just one thing, you're constantly buying it and upgrading it. Okay. Even if you are stuck on like iPhone 10 right now, like you'll eventually upgrade probably, right? When it like shits the bed. So when you're trying to sell 5 different things in your first 0 to 1 million in your business, it's going to be really hard for you because every piece of content is going to have to be different, right? Every email is going to have to be different. It's going to be focused on all these different things. Every conversation is going to be different, right? And every lead points in like the same direction, but it's like, you're doing all this, like this is you, okay? In your business, trying to do way too many things. And unfortunately, what also can happen is that when we are trying to do too much in our business, we can't create proper systems to scale it well. So if I'm just offering mobile bartending and I just have one package, which I encourage you guys to do, what's really nice about that is if something comes up where it's like, oh, that should be a part of my package, I can just add it on. And I'm just constantly fixing that one thing that I sell, which means my energy isn't all over the freaking place. And it allows me to be an authority in every sales conversation I have. So let's say Gloria, I'm just using a random name, comes to me and wants to book me for her wedding. And I'm like, hi, Gloria. Like, yeah, I would love to help you. So do you want beer and wine? Do you want beer, wine, and cocktails? Or do you want beer, wine, cocktails, and a champagne pour? Because we have like a gold, we have like a platinum, we have a silver package. Like, which one do you think is like the best for you? And she's like, oh, I want the gold package, but I don't need the champagne pour. So I'll probably just stick to like bronze, which makes her automatically downsell, right? So you're automatically making less money in your company. You're giving her objections to the packages you have. But when you can say, Gloria, I have the perfect thing for you because this is what we found works best. I can be the authority in my business now. I can say, we have one package. It's cups, straws, napkins, garnishes, basic bar setup. You get to select everything else that you want. Gloria's like, oh my God, easy. It's an easy sales conversation. Why? Because Gloria only has to say yes or no. Gloria doesn't have to be like, do I want this, that, or that? Okay, so really, really important. Ready, Fire, Aim is an incredible book, okay, that talks all about selling only one thing until you hit $1 million in your company. He has helped several businesses scale from 0 to $100 million in no time flat. And this sounds counterintuitive again because it's ready, fire, aim. But don't you, when you're shooting a gun, isn't it supposed to be like ready, aim, fire? Not in business. When you have something ready, okay, so you have your package, you have your one package, it is now time to fire that freaking package off. Don't worry so much about the nitty gritty of like fixing everything because you're going to be able to fine tune it later. That's where the aim comes in. So we're going to talk about this a lot in reason 5 because it's really, really important that we make sure that we're ready and we fire. We don't ready, aim, oh, like maybe I like do this, maybe I do, and then fire because you've lost momentum. Okay. Really, really important. This book has changed my business and my life. Highly recommend it. Okay. All right, so let's, like I said, real world examples. So client A, okay, and I changed names of people because I wanted to be like private. I didn't like ask for permission of like sharing things. So I'm not using their real names, cities, or anything like that. I'm just using real things that happened, okay? So when Jane came to work with me, okay, she was trying to be, and if this is you, like you'll know, She was trying to decorate the wedding. She was trying to staff the wedding. She was trying to be the mobile bartender. She was offering all these different packages. She's like, I can do that. I can do that. I can do that. I can do that. And every time she got on the phone with someone, she was just trying to be like, yeah, I can do that. Like, whatever it is, like, I'm doing it. And I used to do this too my first year in business. I would be like, yeah, oh, backyard party, I can do that. Oh, that, yeah, I can do that. $400, that's fine. I'll just show up and lose money. That's fine. Like, no big deal. And I do think there is like a rhyme and reason for you being able to like figure out your confidence level and being able to really, grow your business. However, when I started and I switched this, and when Jane switched this, something amazing happened inside of her because now she's the girl on fire. Okay. She just booked 4 events in one single freaking weekend, all over $1,000 because she just narrowed it into I offer mobile bartending and I have one package. That's it. Okay. But what happened to me when I first started my business and I was constantly having sales conversations with people, I was always trying to fit into their mold, right? So like, yeah, I can do it for $500, backyard party, no big deal. But when your confidence shifts and you have one thing you offer and one type of client you like to serve, it's amazing because I can so confidently now say to someone like, hey, I'm doing a backyard graduation party. I only have a $400 budget. I can literally say to them, I don't think I'm the right fit for you. And that's okay because the people that I want to attract that are willing to pay my $1,100+ rate right now, because that's what it's at, I'm able to take them on and not busy myself with all these little things, offering too many things to everybody. Okay. So really, really important. I'm sorry how much I say okay, by the way, but that's just my word of choice at the end of everything right now. So really important. Just keep it simple. Stop trying to be everything for everyone. Stop trying to charge the rates that people want to pay. Like, pick your one client that you want to serve, whether it's weddings, whether it's corporate parties, whatever that is. Pick that one thing you want to do. Have that one package for them that you know makes sense and sell them on that one concept. It's going to be so much easier for you to grow. Okay. Now, reason number 2 totally contradicts reason number 1. You are not doing enough. That doesn't mean you're not also doing too much, okay? So I've seen people, like I'm the decorator, I'm the event staff, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this thing. But they still aren't doing enough when it comes to something very specific, which is your marketing, okay? So you are waiting to invest in marketing, thinking, oh, when I have the money, like I'll be able to make like a bigger investment and then I'll be able to make more money. That's literally not how it works. And do you hear that thought process of once I have more money, I'll be able to make more money? No, you're going to have to market your company, genuinely speaking, okay? And this is coming from someone that was so broke when I started my business, but I also understood that I had to pay to play. And so I immediately started marketing on paid listing sites. I made sure I was marketed on every freaking free listing site there was. If there's a free listing site, why are you not on it? Okay. And this goes with 2 things because there's the investment of time and then there's the investment of money. And so we want a little bit of both. But if you don't have a lot of money, you need to be investing a lot more freaking time and more skin in the freaking game. Okay. So you keep saying, I'm going to put this off. I'm going to put this marketing off. I'm going to put this off until I have more business, basically, to grow my business. That's not really how it works. And we do want to just be conscious of how we think about those things. Okay. And waiting to invest time makes no sense because this is another thing I see people do, and I'm guilty too. When I was working my 9-to-5 job, I was like, oh, like if I just quit this job, I'd have more time and then I could whatever. But it's like, there is a reason why the top 1% of income earners are the top 1%. It's because they're doing what only 1% of people are willing to freaking do. So when I say your business isn't growing because you're not doing enough, that doesn't mean, oh, I like reached out to a few venues and no one got back to me. So I'm just like not going to try anymore. You should be reaching out to hundreds, better yet, thousands of people to grow your business, especially if you don't have the money to invest in marketing. Okay. So stop trying to be a perfectionist. By the way, this is something I see all the time is that people will be like, oh, like I have to post on social media, but like, I just don't like the way it looks. Like, I just like, I'm not going to do it. Cause like, I don't, I'll feel more confident later. That does not happen, you guys. It does not freaking happen. So post the content, show up, do it freaking shitty. Okay. Ready, fire, aim. Okay, ready? Just fire, fire, fire. It doesn't matter if it sucks. You're going to figure out what works later. Okay. All right. I want to explain this guy. I love him. I'm working with him currently right now, and his business is already changing so damn much because he was only on Instagram when we started working together. That's it. He was like, I'm not booking like enough events. Like, I don't know what's going on. And like, I'm like, okay, like we can talk about it. And what I realized really quickly, you guys, is that he was only marketing in one freaking place. One place. There are so many ways you can market this business. So let's make sure that we are utilizing all of that to our advantage. Okay. Be on Facebook, be on Instagram, be on paid wedding listing sites. Like try it all. And we're going to talk about how trying it all can lead to something successful in a minute. Okay. There's another reason out of these 5 where we're going to really dial in like what trying it all means and like how to make sure it's working. Okay. So, but Mark started listing his business, you guys, on tons of paid sites and instantly started getting so many freaking leads. It was unreal. And he was like, oh my God, I don't know why I wasn't doing this before. It's like, yeah, no kidding. Do it. I'm telling you right now, it will pay off. You have to invest to reap the reward. Okay. All right. Reason number 3 is huge, and it's something I have spent so much time learning in my company. You don't know how to sell to people. This is something that I am constantly learning more and more and more about in my company, and it's really, really helpful to understand something. We have different buyer types, and you will make a huge error if you constantly think you're selling to one type of person. We have corporate clients, we have weddings. Even if you are marketing, okay, to just weddings, you will still have people approach you about corporate events. It happens all the time in my business, okay? Because I really love weddings. Like that's like my bread and butter. We do usually 60 every single year, just weddings, okay? And something I've realized is that corporate clients don't get sold to the same way a wedding client gets sold to. So if you're trying to sell to everyone the same way, this is something you're going to want to fix in your business. Corporate parties. Let's think about like the science behind this, the psychology of it, okay? If I'm Shelby, the corporate girly who has you, an event bartender, on my little checklist of like, you need an event bartender for this upcoming party, do you think Shelby really cares much about the emotional aspect of that bartender? No. Shelby has a budget. Okay. And Shelby has a budget and she wants to make sure someone's going to do a good job so she doesn't look like an idiot at her job. And she wants to make sure that there's some workload taken off of her because this is her corporate job. Shelby wants to make sure she's picking something that's not going to make her look stupid. Okay. So when I get on the phone with a corporate client, great example of this is someone I just sold on a $3,000 corporate party and they signed very quickly. The first thing I did with this girl is I said, hey, like, this is so fun. This is awesome. What's your budget? Like legit. I was like, what's your budget? What are you guys trying to spend? How do you want things executed? Because when I can start with that, I can then gear her towards what I'm able to offer based off of her budget. I also am always trying to be like, I will take care of all of that for you. High paying analytical buyers is what we call these people, are people that essentially want everything taken care of for them. They have the budget to be like, this is what I need done, you do it. So I even said to this specific corporate client, I said, hey, I actually know that there's a liquor store near you that would deliver. So instead of her having to go and shop for all of her own alcohol, she now has a liquor store going to deliver all of her own alcohol because she is working a 9-to-5 job. She doesn't want to have to do more work to book a bartender. Okay. So we want to solution sell to our analytical clients. Now, Shelby, who's getting married. Okay. So if I'm getting married and you're going to sell to me, do you think you're going to sell to the same way as corporate girl? Absolutely not. You are going to sell to Shelby, who's getting married, like, oh my God, I'm so excited about your wedding. Oh my God, your venue looks beautiful. You have to realize that we have analytical buyers, the corporate person, and we have amiable, emotionally invested buyers. And you need to start selling to them differently. Okay. There's science behind this. All right. Perfect example of not knowing how to sell and then absolutely fucking crushing it. I had a client come and work with me, Terry. Okay. She was so nervous about sales when she started working with me. She's like, the first call we did, she was like, oh my God, like, I don't know how to sell to these people. Like, it's so scary. Like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Like, I send them a quote and like, then they just ghost me. And if you feel like you send people pricing and they're ghosting you, it's because nobody, whether they're analytical or amiable, gives a shit about your price if there's no context. Okay. So you need to very carefully solution sell to the analytical buyer and emotionally sell to the amiable buyer. And neither of those things are going to be done through just sending them, here's like the number, right? We also want to be able to give them clear pictures of everything. So when Terry finally understood how to sell, you guys, she's booked over 20 events now for her business in 2026. And here's the thing. She is a bartender and she said this and it changed her life, and it's something I'm constantly telling people that they have to do. You want to mirror the energy of someone you are selling to. What does that mean? It means that if I'm a shy, timid little bride and I get on the phone and I'm like, hi, yeah, like, we kind of want to do like a signature cocktail, I think. I'm not going to come on there and be like, oh my God, you want to do a signature cocktail? No, I match her energy. I'm like, okay, yeah, that sounds great. That's it. Like match people's energy. She realized that as a bartender, right? There will be people when she is bartending that will come into the bar. And there are some people that are like chatty Cathy's. They want to talk to you. They want to interact with you. They're like, oh, what's that drink? Oh my God, like what's your favorite drink? And then there are people that are more subdued and they're like sitting there on their cell phone and you can tell they don't want to be bothered. Bring that same type of customer service relationship onto your sales calls and it will change your freaking life. Okay. So once you learn how to sell, you guys, everything in your company becomes better, genuinely. Okay. Reason number 4, you have no systems in place. This is something that happens once you start growing. And I have a lot of clients like this right now. And this is why I've put together this whole 5 reasons your mobile bar isn't growing, is because I'm seeing it in real time. I am working with people just like you every day and seeing what the bottlenecks are in their company. And now I'm telling you, like, this is why your mobile bar isn't growing. Not having systems in place is a huge downfall. And I get it. We're not all type A. We're not all organizational queens. I'm not one. I'm not. But I also understood that when I was growing this business, that if I didn't have a system for everything, I would never be able to scale it. I would never be able to hire anyone. I'd never be able to coach anyone on how to do anything in my business if I wanted to eventually not be the one running it, because I would be like, this is what I do. My life's a mess. I have Instagram messages. I have this, I have that, I have this, and I have no way to track anything. That's insane. Okay. So you have to have systems. And we're going to talk very specifically about this for a second. Okay. You need to be taking every customer through the same journey. So if you're taking every customer through a different journey, it's going to be really, really hard for you to scale that company. So some people will do this and they'll be like, okay, so the Instagram message, I'm just trying to sell to her in the DMs, not writing any of that down though, that I'm trying to sell to her. Then I'm over here in my text messages trying to sell to this other person, but I'm going to tell them, why don't they go fill out my quote form? Yeah, that'd be better. And then why don't I talk to this person on the knot? We'll talk to them on just the knot and whatever. And you're not tracking any of it. You don't know where these leads are freaking coming from. You have no idea if your marketing is working. You don't know your income. You don't know your expenses, and you're just kind of scaling a mess. Messes can only scale so freaking far. It will crack when you reach certain revenue. So you should have a client journey for every customer. Like if my customer comes in, I know exactly where they're at in their point of the journey, whether it's, they need a sales call, whether it's they need their client intake form filled out, whether it's like they've been invoiced and we need to wait for their payment. So after their payment, we can then send over the link to book their call, etc. That needs to be written down. Okay. Like you need to have this is what happens at every stage of my customer's journey. And then you need to track every single customer or lead that comes into your business. So if you have someone that is a lead and they messaged you on the knot and you have no ability of when they message you or anything like that, other than going to your not DMs, it's going to be really hard to scale your company. You should have a spreadsheet. You should be tracking all of it, so you know how to follow up. You cannot scale a business you're not tracking. Okay. So please, please, please Start tracking every single thing about your business. I don't care if someone literally messaged you on Instagram and was like, oh my God, your setups are really pretty. I'm getting married in 2 years from now. Like maybe I'll reach out then. They should be tracked. Follow up with them. And Katie, who works for me, she is like really good at this. And I was too. Like I constantly follow the frick up with people. I don't care. Okay. I don't care if I've reached out to you 5 times and I haven't heard from you, because believe it or not, we will book events from someone we haven't heard from several times after reaching out. People that are planning their events, you guys, I just want to point this out to you. People that are planning their events get really busy. They're working full-time jobs and then they're doing this on the side, almost like a part-time job. They get distracted. They get really hyper fixated on it. Like, oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And then they get like weighted down by like all the stuff they have to do that they do nothing. Okay. So just want to point that out. All right. Track everything, follow up with people. And I wanted to use McDonald's as an example. You're probably like, oh, gross. Okay. Why is McDonald's the most valuable franchise in the world? Because their systems are so simple that an 18-year-old can go in there behind the cash register, behind the fryer, behind the burger station, and put it all together and cash you out and make the company money. An 18-year-old can go in and do any of it. Very simply, there is a system for everything. Even that 18-year-old, if they were to be a manager, they went through a very specific system. Every corporation is like this in the world. Why do you think your business is any different? And something I want to point out is that you want to create these systems before you have so much money and you're not tracking any of it and everything is a freaking mess. These systems you want in place, okay? So that is why your system should be simple, easy to follow. Someone should be able to come into your business and be like, okay, yeah, so like, yep, at this stage, okay, they get a client intake call because they've paid their invoice, great, simple, easy. Anyone could take it over, anyone could freaking do it, as long as you just sit them down and explain it, okay? Really, really important. Okay, love this example. Shannon came to work with me, okay? And she was like how I just said, right? So she had the Instagram messages and the knot and all this stuff going on. She was handling every single client just like a mess. And then she'd like, oh, I'm desperate for money, so I'm going to open up Instagram and like go through those messages and like see if anyone's interested. And I'm going to go over here instead of just having like a very repeatable process. And so when we instilled that in her business, we implemented systems, sales scripts. Like this is exactly what we're going to send to every single freaking person that comes into your business. It's an amiable buyer. Like this is what you're sending. She booked over $70,000 in events in less than a freaking year since I coached her. Okay. Because she finally had a very foolproof system in her company. When someone comes in Instagram, when someone comes in the knot, when someone comes in all those freaking places, you need to either be tracking it or sending them to a quote form and having all of your quote form information like be tracked in a spreadsheet. Okay. Also, time tracking is huge. I don't care at what stage you're at in your business right now. I don't even care if you haven't even booked your first event yet. Start understanding that everything you do should be documented. The reason I was able to fill a position to run my mobile bar when I started coaching all of you lovely people was because I tracked every single freaking thing I did. So when Katie came in, it was like, this is where I put their name if they've booked an event. This is where I basically follow up with people. This is how I do a client intake form. Every single person has their own client intake form with their name and the date of their event. This is how I do everything. Was some of it a mess? A little bit, but I had a system for everything. Okay. And so right now, when you are building your business, time track. So spend an hour doing something, stop, sit down with a pen and a piece of paper and write down like what you just did for the past hour so that when you need to hire someone later, you can offboard the things that you are doing every day that move the business forward. Okay. It's going to be really crucial. Also, it's really freaking easy to onboard people when you have systems in place. My bartenders, same thing. When we hire them, they go through the same process. They send us a resume. We review the resume. We have them come in for an interview, or we do an interview over Zoom. Once we're on Zoom, we go over questions with every single person that we're going to hire. We make sure they're a good fit. We make sure they're going to fit in with our team. We then say, okay, we think you're a great fit. Now I need you to go get your bartending certificate. We send them a link to get their bartending certificate. Once they have that, we then plan for them to go to their first event. At their first event, we train them. At their second event, we try to train them and be completely hands-off and see that they can execute it without us there. And then by event 3, they're off and running if they're a good bartender. And if they're not, they're probably reevaluating whether or not it was the right hire, and that's okay. But there's a system for everything, okay? Please, please, please integrate systems in your business. It's going to be so much easier to scale. Okay. Reason number 5 is my absolute favorite because I have this problem too. You can ask anyone. You have a thinking problem. And we're all guilty of this, but it is something that I really had to get in check if I wanted to scale my company. Okay. So let's talk about what your thinking problem looks like. And I bet so many of you are going to resonate with this and you're going to be like, shit, that is me. You keep telling yourself something is wrong. Your pricing is wrong. Your website is wrong. Your marketing is wrong. Your market is wrong. It must be your market. It has to be my market. My market just sucks. That's why I'm not booking events. And, maybe it's like my marketing, but like, I think it's my market, or maybe it's my pricing. My pricing is all wrong. I really should be pricing it like this. And, maybe I'm too expensive. Everybody else is cheaper than me. And so instead of taking action, you just keep overthinking everything you're doing wrong and you second guess yourself. And instead of moving forward, you wait until you feel more confident about something and it never fucking happens. So you're back at square one. Your pricing hasn't changed. Your website hasn't changed. Your marketing hasn't changed. Your market obviously hasn't changed. And you just keep going through this constant cycle of something is wrong in my business. And so nothing moves the needle forward. Okay. I want to go over the client first because I actually coached this client to understand this entire process. And it's really important that you nail this, okay? When Jake came to work with me, he was at the very beginning. We built his entire freaking business together, okay? From like square one, this is what I want to call it. Go register your LLC, do this, do that, do this, okay? And he wouldn't post when it got to marketing. He wouldn't list his services. He felt like something was wrong in his business. And so he was constantly trying to reinvent his contract, like, mess with certain things on his website. Oh, I don't like this. Oh, I don't like that. Oh, I'll fix this. I'll fix that. And he wouldn't post because he felt like nothing looked good. He's like, oh, I can't share that on Facebook or Instagram. Like, it doesn't look good enough. Like, people are going to judge me. It wasn't until he realized something, and this is like huge and something that is so freaking important in your business. He realized that he was focusing on the noise in his business instead of the signal in his business. Okay. He just closed his first event once he really locked this in. Okay. Because we just stopped working together. He's closed his first event and has contracts out to 3 more people. And we started his entire business from scratch. But you have to stop focusing on the freaking noise inside of your own damn head, okay? Your head is going to keep telling you that I need to rebrand. That would help. Oh, I need to change my logo. I need to create another service. If I just create this other service and I start doing this one thing, like this will change my business. And I'm saying this as someone that has done it too, you guys. Like, I'm not perfect, okay? Like, I used to do this all of the time. I'd look at my husband and I would be like, something's just not working. I'm just like not getting leads this week. Something is wrong. Something is broken in my business. Like, oh my God, like something is wrong. And you're like building more website pages, like maybe that'll fix it, or you're starting a new social media account. You're like, you know what, I'll just start a new one, or I'll start posting in a different way, or whatever. Like, you're constantly changing freaking directions and you're like all over the place, like a freaking yo-yo, okay? Signal is what fucking matters. I told you about Ready, Fire, Aim for a reason. Because all that matters right now in your business, if you have not reached $1 million in sales yet, which I'm betting most of you have not, All that matters is marketing and selling. That is the only freaking thing you should be focusing on right now in your business is marketing it and selling it, marketing it and selling it, marketing it and selling it, and making freaking mistakes. Fire, 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 fire. You just need a clear offer, okay? Very consistent content and listings. Having conversations with people that are interested in purchasing or, booking your services. Following up with your leads, and then delivering a great freaking client experience. Those are the only things that matter in your business. Does it help when you have systems to guide you through that process? Abso-freaking-lutely. But that goes with delivering a great client experience. Fixing your logo or changing your name for the 500th time, and I say this, like, do as I say, not as I do, does not fix your fucking business. More sales and better marketing fix your business. How do you get better? You keep doing it over and over and over and over and over. Over and over and over again. Okay, so market your business. Stop caring what fucking people think about you. Stop focusing on the noise in your head. One thing I want to point out is you guys probably know who Elon Musk is, right? So if you guys look up Elon Musk about this noise versus signal thing, he literally every single day just focuses on the very few things that are going to move the company forward in that specific day. That is why he's a billionaire. Because most of us, and me included, sometimes we get stuck on just the noise, the 99% of stuff that does not freaking matter. Focus on what is going to actually move your business forward, okay? All right. Let's see. Okay. This is like my favorite thing to say because it's something that I've honestly learned. The worst thing that can come from you guys being a part of this call tonight is that you leave it with knowledge, because knowledge doesn't mean shit. Okay? If you know that you're doing things wrong or you know you need to fix things and then you don't take any freaking action on them, you might as well not even have the knowledge at all. There's a reason why top performers in our country, a lot of them never even graduated. It's because they realized you don't need more knowledge, you need more action. Okay? So don't leave this call being like, oh, yeah, I need to fix that, or yeah, I should post more, or yeah, I need to follow up with people. None of those things that we talked about are crazy, right? You guys know what I'm saying when I just listed those 5 reasons why your business isn't moving forward. You have to have the courage to actually take action and implement these changes in your business. Okay? So that is honestly the end. And I want to thank you guys. This class, it was 42 minutes, which is great. However, if you guys want to hear how we can help you, I want you guys to ask yourself one question. If you're leaving us, that's fine as well. I just wanted to make the class completely free. But if you want to know how we can help you, I am going to move into that now. So if you would like to leave, that is totally fine. But for those of us staying, okay, so everyone that's still here, I want to ask you a question, and I want you to ask yourself this question, okay? Do you know what to fix first? You now know the 5 reasons, okay, that mobile bartenders are getting stuck. The challenge is honestly figuring out what is costing you bookings right now in your company, right? So a lot of the times people will come to work with me, all the clients we just talked about, right? Perfect example is client A, Jane. When Jane came to work with me, you guys, she truly believed that her business wasn't growing because she was doing something wrong, but she didn't know what it was. She had no idea that offering so many freaking things was her real problem. And when we dialed that in, that's when her entire business changed. Sometimes you need someone to look at your business from the outside, from a lens, and be like, okay, this is what you need to be focusing on right now. This is what's going to actually move you forward. This gets you out of the noise, right? This is why I always have a business coach. Always. Why? Because objectively, it's nice to have someone look at something and tell you, this is what we're going to fix. It just makes sense, right? So instead of spending months creating content, living in the noise inside of your head or anything like that, discovering that you have, all these issues and then you're not sure what the real issue is, or oh, well, maybe I have a sales problem, but really it's an offer problem or anything like that. Most of the time people are trying to solve the wrong thing. And I'm guilty too, right? We're all guilty of this. It's okay. But the businesses that are growing right now are not from people that know more. They're built from people who actually take freaking action and fix them. So, because of that, I am introducing this program to you guys if you are interested, okay? We've already filled 6 spots for this program. It is called the Mobile Bar Accelerator. We are starting June 18th, okay? So we are going to identify what is holding you back, okay? Like individually, because we are going to have you send everything that you want to send to us. So your website, your listings, your contracts, everything you're currently doing right now. And we are going to help you literally fine tune it, fix it, and make it so that you feel more confident in your company. Okay. We're going to give you feedback. You're going to have weekly hot seat coaching every Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern time with me. And then we are also going to have a Telegram chat where you can privately message me. We're going to have a group chat. And then we also will have the ability for you to send all of that stuff to us: website, pricing, listings, rate sheets, any of that, content, sales conversations, anything. You're going to send it over to me. Okay. And we're going to switch gears here for like a few minutes because I really wanted to do this. I thought it was really, really important. Okay. I want you to, there's a lot of you still on here, so I want you to do this exercise with me because it's something I've been doing every single day. Not kidding. And it has been changing my freaking life. So I want you to close your eyes. Okay. And I want you, and I'm going to close my eyes too. And I want you to picture a moment in your life where you were super grateful for something, someone, or a place. And I want you to think about that moment that you were just so grateful. Maybe it was someone in your life who had done something nice for you. Maybe it was like you looking out at a beautiful view when you were on a vacation or something. Maybe it's, just something in your life that you just feel so much gratitude for. Okay. I want you to feel that. I want you to be like, oh my gosh, and feel your body almost get lighter. Like, oh my God, like this happened in my life. This is incredible. Okay. And just sit with that for a second and kind of just feel that moment like you're living it again. Like you hear the noises you heard, you hear and smell everything that you felt and smelled in that moment. Okay. And then we're going to switch gears. And I want you to think of yourself as if it is June 2027, okay, a year from now. And your business has all of the bookings that you could imagine. You're driving your dream freaking car. What does the dream car look like? What does it smell like? What color is it? Where are you driving to? Your dream home. What does your dream home look like? Is it a mansion? Is it, a top floor apartment with like a skyline view? What does your dream home look like? Okay. You see it, right? Everything has worked out for you. What are you smelling? What are you hearing? Now, I want you to take that same feeling you had of that moment you were grateful in your life, and I want you to apply it as if this has already happened. It's already June 2027. You already have the car. You already have the house. You have everything you want. You have all the bookings, everything. Okay. Picture it as if it's already happened. It's already here. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. Your life is everything you've wanted it to be and more. You have time with your family. You're driving the car. You're living the freaking dream life now. Okay. Now open your eyes, and I want to tell you something. Your brain creates your freaking reality. You have the ability inside of you to create the very thing you were just envisioning. The only thing that is standing in your way between June of 2027, where you have the car, the house, all the things you want in your life, the time freedom, is you taking freaking action. Okay, that's it. It's just you repeatedly, day after day, repeatedly just doing the freaking actions you know you have to do. Okay. And it's really important to point that out because when we get inside of ourselves and we see that and we envision it and we know it can be real because we're literally seeing it in our minds, you just have to now put action behind it, okay? And so that is what the accelerator is all about, is we are going to do 8 weeks of coaching calls on Zoom every Thursday at 11 a.m., okay, Eastern time, starting June 18th. You will have replays. These are hot seat coaching calls, meaning that if someone comes into the coaching call and they had a question, I am able to essentially guide them on the call, even if they are not live on the call, okay? You also have support between calls on Telegram with me, one-on-one. Okay. And Amanda will also be helpful as well, our client success manager. Usually she's in the Telegram chats just uploading information. Sometimes she helps me edit some things, but for the most part, you're talking to me directly. Okay. Amanda keeps me organized, to be honest. You're also going to have access to modules and exercises that are completely brand new. I have never launched these to anyone before. They're going to be exercises like the one we just did, where there's visualization and more like actually like reaching for the shit that we want in our lives, okay? There's also going to be audits on your business. So you're going to send me your list as soon as we get into the program, June 18th, you are going to send me your listings, your contracts, your offers, your website, your systems, and we are going to audit all of it for you. I'm going to send you videos, voice messages, whatever I have to do to tell you what to fix. And you are going to have a clear action list on what to work on next. So you stop focusing on the noise in your business. Okay. By the end of the program in 8 weeks, you will have systems, offers, marketing, and sales dialed in so that you can grow your business with confidence instead of scaling a mess. Okay. And if you would like to claim your spot, like I said, 6 have already been taken. You are going to scan this QR code. Huge tip. If you cannot scan the QR code because you are on your cell phone right now and you really want to claim your spot and join us, you're going to screenshot, okay, this QR code that's on your screen right now. You're going to screenshot it and go into your photos and be able to open up the link. Okay. If you need help or you have a question whatsoever, please email bellinconsultinggroup@gmail.com. I will also be sending you an email at the end of this in case you need help or anything like that. The cost for this program is $1,997. However, if you are someone that does not want to pay for that all in advance, you don't have to. When you click the link or when you scan the QR code and it opens up here, you are going to scroll to the bottom, okay? And if you're on a cell phone, it'll look a little bit differently, but you'll see a pink K or this green money sign, right? It says Klarna or Afterpay. You are going to click one of those if you want a payment plan. You can go as far as 24 months out. You're going to fill in your information, okay? And then hit claim my spot, and then it will take you to Klarna or Afterpay to continue checkout. If you have any questions, like I said, please email bellinconsultinggroup@gmail.com. Okay. We will gladly help you claim your spot and get into the program. Okay. And I am so excited that you all joined me tonight. I hope that you have some really good insight, okay, about what you need to fix in your business. And if you want our help to do it, we are here and so ready to work with you guys. And honestly, just like freaking blow up in 2026. Like there are so many amazing people already inside of this program who have done multiple programs with me already that are just like fucking ready. Like we're on fire. Let's do it. Let's be in a room of people that are just like, yes, let's do it. And something I have been saying, and I want to preface this, if you are not serious about growing your business, okay? If you are not serious, you're like, maybe, like, yeah, I guess I could maybe. You don't need to do it. Please don't. Because I want these spots to be filled by people that are ready to hit 6 figures in their mobile bar in 1 year, okay? Like 100K in bookings in 1 freaking year. Let's fucking go. If you guys want to claim your spot because it still feels like the right fit, you're ready to take action, please join us. And you will get a recording of this entire call. And you will also get a link to register if you want to join this program. And if you guys have any questions, like I said, and I'll put her email also in your email, but bellinconsultinggroup@gmail.com, that's Amanda. She will help you if you need any help. Okay. Hope you guys have a good rest of your night. And I hope to see some of you guys start with us next week. Okay. Good night. Bye, everybody.